Welcome to the Podiatry Profits Podcast, where you will discover how to get more patients and multiply the profits of your practice with minimally invasive foot surgery, proven marketing systems, and ethical influencing to your patients. And now, your host, board-certified podiatrist, best-selling author, speaker, and founder of TJ On Coaching and Consulting, Dr. TJ On.
All right, welcome to the Podiatry Profits Podcast, episode 24. In this episode, I'm going to talk about how to bust overwhelm, that feeling of overwhelmed. I know it's not a fun feeling, right? When you feel like, oh my God, I got too many things to do. I got this, that, I don't even know what to do. I have too much stuff to handle by myself. And I know that's not a great feeling. And so in this episode, I want to talk to you why that's happening, and then how we can bust it more step by step. So this will be, I think, very practical, that it'll be helpful and resourceful to all of you guys. And again, you can adapt to my method, and if it works, great. If not, then you might be able to somehow create similar ideas. I think essence of it is there, no matter what method you choose. Sound good? Yeah, so by the way, I just finished great mastermind meeting past weekend. I had 12 wonderful doctors committed to succeed in our mastermind group. Came to Chicago, stayed at the hotel. I create all the environment for intense but fun executive style mastermind, the meeting for 2 days. So everybody loves it. Most doctors come back because I held this mastermind meeting every 4 months. So anyway, during our mastermind meeting, there are some times that we analyze and look deeper into each person's practice, right, in a deeper level. But one of the common problems that many doctors were having is this overwhelming issue, and also staffing, right? A lot of times staffing problem can create that overwhelming emotional response. But in this episode, I'm not going to talk about specifically for staffing issue, but I'm more diving into kind of generalized overwhelm and how we can tackle it. So, first of all, overwhelm might be a good thing, because when we are not busy, when we are slowed down, that's what I consider basically business is dying. Business is either grow or die, right? If it's in the middle, stagnant, it's not something that you want anyways. But if it's dying or slowing down, usually different emotional response comes out, like anxiety or fear, right? Anxiety or fear of losing business or shutting it down. That's usually not an overwhelm, but that's a different emotional response from that situation. But when we get overwhelmed, usually when business is active. So something's happening, right? Things are happening, probably growing. You might going through the growing pain. You're not able to manage your time or tasks, so that we start feeling this overwhelmed, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Type of feel. As far as I'm concerned, that's the overwhelm that I'm discussing here in this episode. So in a way, that's a good news, right? Your business is growing or very active. And now I want to tell you how to tackle it, right? So this is very important, very profound. So listen up carefully. When feeling of overwhelmed starting in you, right? Starting in your body, and you're starting feeling that. First step, most important step, is to observe that feeling and listen to that feeling Observe that feeling as if you're outside of your body. That's very, very important. If you're in it, so this might take up whole hours of coaching. We're talking some, deep aspect of mindset, how subconscious mind, habitual thinking versus conscious mind and creative juice flowing, state of that intuition, etc. But again, I'm not going into too detail, but this is very easy to do. If you're feeling overwhelmed, first of all, you just listen to that feeling. Or if you're a more visual person, trying to visualize that. Visualize yourself thinking about this, not inside of it, but you're outside of it. So you're almost detaching yourself as if you're a third person. Sounds good? Now, if you can separate that third person who is observing and listening to this overwhelm, that's also you. That's the other part of you. Again, this is kind of the mindset, right? But it has been written and proven that it is true. You do have more than one mind in your body. But when we are busy or your life is operated based on your emotion and just habitual constant thinking, you're not operating your mind in all aspect of you, like a being. You might be much bigger than you think you are, but as long as you are kind of occupied inside of that thought-driven mindset and emotional-based mindset, it's very difficult to see. But again, you need to start first listening to this as an observer. I'm not telling you this from like as if I developed this. It's not. Great book I recommend is Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now, The Power of Now. So I highly recommend that book. But anyway, I'm all about application, right? I'm applying to my life, applying to my business. How can we improve our personal life and business life? So number one, you need to be able to observe it and acknowledge it. Do not judge. Do not scream at it. Do not try to back out of it intentionally. Just observe it. Let them be. Oh, shoot, TJ here is feeling overwhelmed. That's the most important thing, okay? Number two, now if you can settle in a little bit, you can kind of visualize that and listen to it as an observer. Now you need to start writing down. Open your eyes or, sit down on empty paper, real handwriting. We have different apps and stuff that I'm going to recommend later. But, second step, you need to write them down. The best way is just write them down on the paper with just a regular pen. Write them down what you're feeling, what you're observing. So you'll start writing down like, I am overwhelmed because I have to do this is number one, number two, number three. All the things that it makes you overwhelmed. Now, because you're observing it, you'll be able to write them down. Again, no judgment needed yet. Just write them down. Okay? And number three, this is called Eisenhower matrix. I use them all the time. Eisenhower, the General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower, right? The matrix is named after him. Eisenhower matrix. You can Google it, go to click images, and you can see all those images of Eisenhower matrix. Basically, it's 4 squares. On horizontal top, basically it's urgent, not urgent. Okay, on the left-hand side, vertical column, important, not important, right? So then you'll have 4 squares developed. So first square, upper left quadrant, it'll be urgent and important. Urgent and important. Upper right will be not urgent, important. Lower left quadrant will be urgent, not important. And then lower right, it'll be not urgent, not important. So you guys are intelligent individuals, so I know where I am getting there. So you're writing down all those things on step 2. Now, each step, all you need to do, look at it, which quadrant it will go. It will go one of those 4. There is no such a thing that I don't know, this one doesn't belong to any 4 of these. Yes, it will belong to any of those 4. Start plug them in by following this guideline. Is it urgent? If it's urgent and important, you do it. So put it in the do quadrant. First quadrant, upper left. Do quadrant. Do it now. Do it now. Now, if it's not urgent, something that doesn't have to be do it now, but it is important. So something that has to be done by you. So then that one is do it later or schedule. That's the upper right. So you write those tasks onto that quadrant. Now, if it is urgent, this is very important and urgent, then it was do it now, right? But now this category is urgent but not important. Something that has to be done soon, but it's not that important. What do? You delegate. Your virtual assistant, your staff, someone. Don't do it yourself because it's not important, but it has to be done right away. So delegate them. Okay, and the last quadrant, one of those or some of those items you wrote is not urgent and it's not even important. Not urgent, not important. Write them down first into that quadrant. And then what do? Eliminate them. Delete them. Don't do it. Throw it away. It's not urgent. It's not important. You thought it was important, but now when you look at in this perspective, in these 4 quadrants, if it doesn't belong to the other 3, it's not urgent, not important, do not even bother. Your life is not going to end. Think about it. It's not fight or flight. It's something that it can be ignored. So don't even dwell on it. Put it there, but delete it. Now, there are a lot of great apps out there that it can help you kind of create this type of Eisenhower matrix. Okay, so I may write down a couple of apps that I can recommend you to try in the episode notes. Okay, so you can perhaps download free version and then check those out. If you're more modern, mobile phone savvy generation, you can try on a couple of apps, see if you like and if it helps you organize all those things and tasks into these 4 possible quadrants so that you can practically manage this into 4 quadrants and basically bust that feeling of overwhelm. Now, you don't even have to have 2 separate Eisenhower matrix. You don't have to separate them to personal and business. I try them, but then it starts developing too many matrix, and then it's one more thing to worry about. So you can start with just having one matrix, put personal items, business items into one matrix, and you will get the hang of it. You'll get into a habit, into kind of organized, systemized fashion. And I truly believe this will help you avoid having that episode of overwhelming. Sounds good? Podiatry practice should not be a burdening type of, thing that you hate to go back to work. Oh my God, I wake up in the morning, I have to go back in there and then do this rat race, job, again and again every day. That's hard. Why do you do that, right? I suggest not do that. Basically, that's almost killing yourself in a way, right? Emotionally, physically drained out. You need to really start focusing on what you love doing and what is important to you. Not because you have to survive, That's the worst place where you continue to have your practice and seeing patients. Agreed? So, if you're a volume-based, insurance-based model, I'm a big proponent of the other way, complete the other extreme opposite, right? I want to have my own hours, work just 2-3 days a week, seeing 8 to 10 patients a day, but without losing your profit margin. That's what I call hybrid concierge model, what I call global shift proof, a COVID proof, pandemic proof model, because you really create your own set of a schedule, your own treatment plans and packages, and you provide certain patient clientele. And, you can continue to provide what you love without needing to see so many patients and dealing with all these nonsense insurance plans and appeals and administrative burden. But now that I've been helping a lot of doctors in the business aspect in my business program, marketing program, and my mastermind and private client, I start seeing some doctors have very established practice that kind of almost like difficult to transform overnight into a hybrid concierge model. So rather than trying to jump overnight, if you're on that category, you do have ways to improve your business system. So just simply put, if you can detach yourself in it and start seeing the possibility of, now you got to work the associates, you got to work with partners, team members. So definitely there's a staff, potential staff issue, a lot higher now potential, correct? But if you can work the system, you may be able to maximize your freedom and, your time by delegating to associate doctors and well-trained staff team with SOP, standard operating procedures. By systemizing it, it's almost like, think of it as well-oiled machine like franchise, which I don't like, okay? I'm being honest with you. I don't like that idea of franchise with systemized. But if it is impossible to get out of that model, yet you want to maximize that, that's the only way. You need to systemize it, and you need to think of it as if this is like you're running franchise. And you have to still, you need to still implement well-documented, and well-controlled, well-maintained, flow-like system. It's not impossible, but that's the only way you can have your free time for your family and yourself, and you don't have to live in the podiatry world. You can have a personal life, yet still you can enjoy running the business, managing the system, and as an entrepreneur, you can continue to provide great healthcare to public health without losing your own health. Does that make sense, doctors? So again, this is it for this episode. But just to recap, overwhelm is normal when your business is active. So number 1, observe it and acknowledge it. Number 2, write them down. Number 3, systemize it into Eisenhower matrix. And if you want me to, see your current practice, and then you need someone to talk to, you can book a strategy session with me or my team. We can have some time aside and set aside, and we can kind of analyze your current situation and then see there is a potential to develop, much better system. And or if you want to transform your current system that you hate into totally patient-focused, patient direct pay, yet you don't sacrifice your life, your time, and your energy into things that can be unnecessary. Does it make sense? So I put some links down below in the episode note. You will have multiple ways to connect with me. And then again, until next week, you stay safe and healthy and go out there, help many patients. But remember, this is one life here in this world, and I want you to create a niche, and I want you to find out your true purpose of why you are here. And then please give me a great review if you like my episode. If you love listening to my podcast, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, 5-star reviews. Give me some encouragement so I can continue providing some materials and thoughts and frameworks that could make your professional and personal life easier. Sounds great? All right, doctors, I'll see you very soon.
You've been listening to the Podiatry Profits Podcast with Dr. TJ An. To find out more about Dr. TJ An or discover how you can grow your podiatry practice, visit drtjan.com, or you can also get a free copy of Dr. An's best-selling book, Opt Out: How to Take Back Financial Control of Your Private Clinical Practice Without the Hassle of Insurance Companies. Just go to optoutbook.com.